Hi everyone. So on the screen I have the app at the project or the UI would have at the end of this video. So it's a very simple UI. So this is basically the landing screen or the landing page, and then when you type your query, it should take you to the next page where it actually shows you the result that matches your query. But then now we are actually not dealing with any API at the moment. So in the next video, that's where you're going to see how we interact with the API that we'll be using for this project. So yeah, I hope you're gonna love it. Let's head to VS Code now. So what I did was I removed all those files that had to do with testing, and also removed the boilerplate, right? So all I have now is just a receipt app, a H1, and then there's nothing in here. So go ahead and install your React app, and you can pause the video and install it, and you'll pick it up. So yeah, let's get started, right? So what we basically need, we have like the home page where you put in whatever key you want to search, and then the results page. So the page that will display the receipts that match your query, right? So if you search cake, it's going to return everything that matches the keyword cake, right? So yeah, so let's do the UI, and of course we're gonna deal with the functionality later on, right? Okay, so let's have a folder in here. Gonna start with the basic things. Folder again. Let's just say home. Let's leave out the pages, and then in the home folder we're gonna have a home.js, and then we're definitely gonna have a home.css. So let's go into home and create a React app with this shortcut. Cool. So import what's going on. Okay, cool. A class home, and then in here let's do this, and then we're gonna have a search div2, and then this search will basically have two things. It will have the input. Yeah, it will basically have the inputs, right? So the inputs is what? So we're gonna have a button and a uh an input, right? So we're gonna have an input, but also we have sort of a, what we can call it, a logo, right? Let's use the emoji here. Ted, let's close it. Receipts, and maybe some small, say, find for your favorite meals. um but wait, we could do this. Let's put this in its own div, maybe logo, then in here, and then just below the logo we can have the input, right? And we also have a button, say search. So basically this is what we have so far. Let's go ahead and wait, before I actually run it, in the src folder I need to have an asset folder here. I want to import an image that I'm gonna use here. Let me move it into assets. Oh, cool. Let me close it. So let me go ahead and run it and start the project. You can go to terminal and open new terminal. Start. Let's give it a minute. Okay, now it's running. Let's wait for it starting. And then while it's still actually loading, let me come in here and reset the styling. Box size, border, box. And then we could also use a font here. So but you don't need to use any font for this project. You could use whatever that you want. I just like using customized fonts. Let me import it here. It's a Google font family. Is Ubuntu. Why is it taking so long? Finally it's running. Okay, we have the receipt app here, and then you can see the font is quite nice, looks good. So oh, of course we don't see the code we were writing in here because we are not linking it with the app here. So let's import the home component we just wrote now. Import it and compile. While it's compiling, let's actually start with the CSS, right? We have a home, but we're not going to write without actually seeing the changes. What's going on? Okay, you know what, let's refresh it. Maybe it'll be quicker that way. Let me just close this and refresh. Done. Okay, let's see if we're not gonna have some problems. So let's say the height of this div, it will take the whole width of the screen and then the height of the screen, right? We're gonna use this width, right? And display flex, let's move everything to the center of the screen, right? And what else do we need? So let's grab this. This is where we're actually going to use the background. Do you know that the image we imported here, or the image in this folder, we're gonna use it as our background image. We're also going to use linear gradient. We're going to use linear gradient, and then here URL, and then we specify where the image is in here, is this one, right? Also we need the background position to be center. What also do we need? Background size cover, right? And then width of this div to be maybe 400 pixels. Let's save and see how it looks. Oh no, so let's deal with here with this linear gradient. For now, just use this white color and make it transparent. Make it transparent. Also this one. Okay, so you can see the image in the background, right? So let's see what we can do with it, right? um we can apply some padding. Wait, does it mean we need to increase this? All right, and then maybe we also need to use the height. Cool. Okay, so everything seems to be coming just right here. Actually, let's make it completely transparent, and then here we apply the direction to right, and then maybe let's make it something like this here. Right, so we need to move this part here, we need to move it to this side. Okay, let me also apply some border radius to the whole div. Yeah, looks cool. So let's move this part here, and then we move it this side. What can we do? Let's do display flex, and we need to align the items to the end, because we need them here at the end. And we can also say justify content center. Oh no, there's something wrong that I'm doing. Oh, let me see if I say flex direction, but I think this one is quite redundant because so I don't know why I thought that was gonna be redundant, but yeah, it kind of worked. So let's dial the input and the button, right? um they are under a div called inputs, so specify inputs button padding 10 pixels. We don't need border. Border radius, we do need it. Okay, let's do border radius. What, 10? Outline, none. What else? Let's save and see how it looks. Let me take this part and 180 pixels. Oh no. Okay, 350, but I think it's okay. Shouldn't go beyond here. All right. Also the padding, we could increase it. Cool. So let's deal with the button. Background color. Let's see. But obviously we don't need this. Color, definitely white. Yeah, seems like it's cool. Search carrot cake. carrot cake, and then when you hit search, it should take you to a page where it's going to show you the results, right? So let's deal with that. We go into components, create another folder called receipts. So we're basically going to display receipts in this page or in this component, and definitely the CSS. So another thing, another shortcut, RFSCE, and boom, we have it. Class name, also we need to, let me save it, we need to import it here. So since we were only seeing home, now we want to see the receipts, right? But then we'll also need to make use of the React router so we can be able to navigate from page home to page receipts, right? But then for now, we just want to deal with the UI, and then we'll deal with that, right? So let me refresh this page. We should be able to see the of course there's nothing in here. So what do we need? We're gonna have the inputs here. Similar, let's go back to home. We want something like this, right? um right, and yeah, because even after seeing the results, you still want to I'll show you. Actually, I'll show you. Let's just see what how does this one look. Of course, we don't have the border in here. We can actually go into the styling for this page and specify that the input should actually have a border so we can be able to see it, right? So let's go into this and specify input that it should have a border, and it should at least look like something like this. Solid. Let me save here. So let's see how it looks. Also, yeah, it looks okay. We can also make it maybe 315 this page. Seems like it needs me to refresh every time, but then let me do some styling and then we'll refresh. Here we want this guy to take only 80% of the page and give some margin and move everything to the center of the screen. Great. And then so now we just need to display the result. So right, so basically what we have would have something like search and then whatever that you would have searched, right? So we're gonna, after, when you get to this page, you'll have this bagger in here, and then you can also later on change bagger into something else, right? So in the receipts component, you're going to have the results, of course, right? So let's save these. And we have what? We have an image. Oh no. And we're also gonna have the recipe content. Um the name, maybe, I don't know, carrot cake. And let's have also the ingredients. We make use of a div. We're also gonna have part where we show the nutritions. Okay, so in here we can have something like 2 cups of milk, blah blah blah, carrots. Let me just repeat this part. Actually, let me take this. It should be a p tag, and we also here instead of having a p tag in here, we're gonna have a small. We're going to say maybe it contains calcium 12 grams, or what else, potassium. We're just building out the UI, right? These are not factual values. What else do we need? um Vitamin C. What else do we need? What else? Yeah, let me just leave this one for now. We also need the image, right? So we also need the image, but then for now I'll just import a random link that I have. We'll work with it until we actually get to deal with the UI, I mean the API, because the API is the one that will give us the image. But then for now, I'm just going to work with a random image from the internet. Cool. So there it is. So let's go and start with the styling before we even open the page, because I know it looks like a mess. So let's also open up some space, and we're gonna say display flags, and the flags direction is row, and flags wrap, we want them to wrap the receipt image with let's make it something like 150, and height will be 150. I gotta cut a cake cake. So I want the receipt div to actually display the content side by side, right? So I'm going to go into the receipt, display flags, um flags direction row. All right, and let me just add some margin here. Also here, cool. Let's make it with 45%. And then we also have receipt content, right? You can actually copy these and paste these so they can be on the same line, because you, oh, perfecto. So let's just go in here and duplicate this line, and duplicate, no, not this line, only like this container or this div, so we can at least have multiple of them and see how they look when they are actually many. So we don't have space between them. So let's go into receipts, uh, CSS. So imagine we want the space top, right, bottom, and left. There's so much space here. Um, yeah. Also, let me just see what's gonna happen. Margin right and try to push the button so they can at least have some breathing space between them. Yeah. So we basically have something like this. Or okay, at least let me try to show that there is a this information here is separate to this one, right? We could have simply okay, wait a minute. Let me go into, so we have ingredients and nutritions, right? But we could simply have ingredients and nutritions. Let me see when I just create a simple border. Um, also try something not. I definitely need some padding in there. Of course, some margin 5 and 0. So how does it look? I think it looks pretty okay. Oh, wait a minute. So let me see how do you actually look with the border being this color, right? Um, the border here and also here. If it looks horrible, we change it. No, not something that we really want to do. Would you like to know? And so what can we do? Do we need some shadow, box shadow? Now we just restyling and see how it actually gonna look. And this color, let's take it down a bit. I don't know. Actually, when I think about it, this color actually here could be the background of the whole app. Say body background color, and we use this, and we use for receipts we say background, and we use white, so you can at least see no, this color is bad. Um, so I don't know. Nah, let's remove it. It failed. Whatever that we tried to do, it failed dismally. No, go away. We don't need you. So yeah, I think this is how it pretty much looks. This is how it looks. This is the cat name, the image, the coliseums and stuff. So what we are only left to do is to consume the API, and yeah, I think that's pretty much okay. You know what? Before we actually even start with consuming the API thing, we could simply install two packages. No, actually, let's just install one for now. Let's install the React router DOM. npm install React router DOM and give it a few minutes. Okay, it's done. So let's go into React app. Okay, import everything that we need from React router DOM. We need the browser routes and route. Let's simply wrap everything with browser route. And this is our route path element, which is our home, and simply have another thing here. So we're gonna go to this page search, and then here we're gonna have a query. So we're gonna be able to access this query value in this receipts component or page, right? So let me clear this. All right, so yeah, basically we start here. You enter stuff. So let's go to home. When you enter stuff in here, you're gonna put them in query state, and on change handle query. So let's have use state here, and up here we're going to have query set query to be an empty string, and we're gonna have the function handle query, which will do this, and simply, okay, let me do value and get the value from the input. Set query to value, not here. And what is this? On click handle search. So when you click this button, you're basically searching. So constant handle search, it will do just one line. We're going to use a location so we can be able to tell it with code where we actually want to go, right? Normally you'd use uh uh you probably use this a lot more in your anchor text. So but then here we're gonna use it with a button click. So when you click the button, it's gonna take you to the page we specified in here. So remember, we specified search and then it followed by a query. So we're gonna do search and plus our query. Close this. Yes, I think this is pretty much everything that we need in this page. Our state, save the changes, move to the next page with the query value passed as a URL param. Great. Let me save whatever changes we made in here and go see how this looks in code. Let me refresh and say we need carrot cake. You see, it takes us to this page with the carrot cake in the URL. So this will be the results of the query we'll make to the API using this value. So yeah, that's what we will basically do in the second video. So I hope you enjoyed the first part, and please do not forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.